Okay, Mr. Creevy asks, have you ever eaten Yaffa cakes? They're fucking awesome. Also, are you going to keep making videos on your AdKit 2 channel? I mean, keep going on with your career, as it were. Like, I am, I have been, I've not stopped making videos there, so that's a stupid question, but I don't also know what Yaffa cakes are. I haven't even heard of Yaffa cakes, which is weird because I've heard of a lot of American food. I'm assuming it's American food. I have no idea. Yaffa. Is it coffee? Is it like a coffee cake? I have no idea. I have no idea. And then Seltzer Tractor responds to him with, I heard Apophis eat them every day. I don't know if that's funny. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Oh, and the same guy goes, also I forgot to ask, is it okay to abbreviate or shorten Asperger syndrome to Aspies or something along those lines to someone who has Asperger syndrome? I was just wondering because you often shorten it down, and I was thinking that maybe you were allowed to soften it just because you have it. Yeah, it's not like niggers, which I just said. I have this thing. I think you should be able to say anything as long as you don't mean it in a bad way. I should be able to say niggers. I should technically be able to walk up to a black guy who is my friend, you know, I like him, and just in a sentence use the word nigger, even call him a nigger, and he shouldn't be mad about that, because I'm not doing it as an insult, and it's obvious. But that's a completely different argument. This is also a completely different argument because Aspie is not the same as nigger. There's nothing negative about the word Aspie. It's not even it's never been used as a negative thing because people who dislike Aspies normally call them Aspergers or some shit like that. So yes, you can call us whatever you want. You might, they might not know what an Aspie is because not everyone uses that shortening. AS usually works as a shortening, but that doesn't flow off the tongue as well. So I just started using Aspies because that sounds good to me. I didn't get it from anywhere. It just sounds good. So yeah. Next question. Next question. Are you very picky with food as well? I try to eat the same foods every day because they are safe and I know what they do to me and what I like them. That I like them. Also, are you still with your cyber girlfriend, Katarina? Katarina. But what happened there? How is it working out? Relationships are difficult, so to have a long-distance relationship seemed to be a genius idea for Nasby. No stupid cuddling or holding hands or starting fights over lack of eye contact. First of all, I am picky with food, but I'm a chef, so I'm trying to eat everything. I'm trying to broaden my views. So I'm gotten a lot less picky with food because I've learned to eat more food. But I am picky the other way now that I won't eat pre-made fish sticks or pre-made mashed potatoes or pre-made anything basically. I just hate pre-made food because I've eaten it homemade myself. That it was so good that I can't go back to the original. I used to eat the pre-made shit. I can't go back to that because it's just not good anymore. It's horrible. So yeah, that's my pickiness. But yeah, my girlfriend should have come over a couple of days ago, but because of her wisdom teeth, she had to move up the thing for a month. But she is moving in with me, which I am very happy about. So that's what's happening with her. Granted, it's not going to be a long distance relationship after that, but I actually like cuddling and holding hands and starting fights over lack of eye contact. I like all of those things, as long as it is with someone I love. Otherwise, I would hate it. You know, I don't want to touch people I don't love. That might just be me, because a lot of Aspies say that they don't want to touch anyone. But I'm just thinking maybe they just simply don't have anyone they love right now or something. But yeah. Yeah, you're not actually asking any questions about that, so I'm just gonna stop there, because long distance relationships is a topic I could be talking about for quite a while, but let's do that some other time. Oh, is people talking here? Me included. Ex-Fabulous Killjoy96 asks, hi, I was wondering if you ever talk to yourself, because I do, and I always have done. A lot of the time I only realize halfway through that I'm actually talking to myself. Also, have you ever been to New York? I just went there on school trip and it's very good. Thanks if you reply, I appreciate it. And then I replied to him, asking, talking to myself out loud, or just talking to myself in the form of a dialogue in my head. Because, you know, sometimes I talk to myself as in I think of something, and then I go, no, that's stupid. You know, in my head I'm doing this. I literally go, no, that's stupid. And then I go, well, it would work if I do this and that. And it's technically a dialogue. I'm technically talking to myself. I'm trying to convince myself to do this or that. However, that is not what talking to yourself means. The definition of talking to yourself is that you are imagining seeing someone, or not seeing, but imagining hearing a voice of someone that isn't there. And I don't do that. I don't talk to myself, as in talk to an imaginary voice. However, talking to yourself out loud, that is different too. That is like vocalizing thoughts. Like he's saying here, talking to yourself out loud, sitting in your room, talking about certain subjects. Sometimes it's a bit like vocalizing thoughts. That is not what they call talking to yourself. So you don't have to think that you're weird about that. Because everyone does that, it's just that they do it in their head. If you do it out loud, that's okay, because most people do that out loud when they get older. You always hear like older people when they're in the store going like, maybe I shouldn't buy that, and then they just keep buying stuff and don't even stop to think about the fact that they just said something to no one. But talking to yourself, as a psychiatrist would say, involves two people. One of them is imaginary. So that's how that works. And I've never been to New York. I kind of don't want to. I would like to go to Chicago though, just because I like gangsters. Even though they don't have gangsters, but still. Whoop. And there's a question in Swedish. I guess I have to translate because you don't want to listen to me speak Swedish. Okay, now you promised to answer, so finally he can get an answer. Well, it helps if you spell stuff correctly. What generally do you think about how you diagnose people with Asperger's? It feels like people are using Asperger's as an excuse for their weird behaviors. Many who write to you seem to have that need. They live through the diagnosis like, no, I can only eat meat sauce and spaghetti because I have Asperger's, instead of being less picky. Have you got that opinion on people? Man, difficult. And I'm like, that's... That question kind of answers itself. There is a lot of people who actually want Asperger's and try to get it, even if they don't have it, just so they can use it as an excuse. There's also a bunch of people who have Asperger's who use Asperger's as an excuse. I've done that myself, but I actively try not to do that, because it is wrong. It's like if you have a broken bone and you don't want to run around and you blame it on a broken bone, that's okay. But if you have a broken bone and you don't want to use your wheelchair to roll, I don't know, out and turn the TV on, then that's still just laziness. You can blame it on a broken bone, like, no, it would be annoying for me, but it would be just as annoying for somebody else to get up and walk over there and turn the TV on. That's a horrible example, but still, the Aspergers give you a right to complain about a lot of things, but in a lot of cases you still have to bite the bullet and do it, because that's how normal people work too. You can't use the Aspergers as an excuse for everything, because that's not how it works. Like I said, I actively try to not do that, because it's just a horrible thing to do. At my work, I sit in the same place every time. I don't need to, but it just feels a lot better. So I ask people, like, dude, you're sitting in my spot, can I have my spot back? And then they laugh and they move, because they know I have Asperger's, and they know that Aspies are very picky about stuff like that. So they do it, because they were nice to me. But if they said no, I would have to just go, well, fine then, I guess I'll sit over here instead, and it would feel uncomfortable, I would really not like it, but it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know. I would just have to bite the bullet. And what's my point? Did I say his name? Zephyrus? Oh. Then XX Temps XX answers in Swedish again. With you're completely wrong. All people with Asperger's are different. Weird, whatever. Some use it as an excuse for everything. Some fight hard to get rid of the negative sides of it. But I agree that there are people who think they have Asperger's when they actually don't. I've been really depressed over this, and how it causes so many people angst. Also, there's plenty of people, for example, who don't know that they have it and are in jail or have misdiagnosed. Yes. Don't really know what to say about that. That's a serious discussion, actually. I could make a video about that too. Anyway.